Leah Remini spent 9 seasons starring as Carrie Heffernan on The King of Queens. So where has she been lately? And where is she headed next? Remini didn't have the heart to do another sitcom right away, so she jumped at the chance to try her hand at a talk show. In 2010, Remini joined the panel on The Talk alongside co-hosts Sarah Gilbert, Julie Chen, Sharon Osbourne, and Holly Robinson Peete. Unfortunately, the gig wasn't exactly what she'd expected. She revealed, "I get there and I'm thinking, it's important to understand why these guests are worth talking to, but no one else gave a Remini's frustration with the quality of the show, along with reported spats among her co-stars, led her to exit The Talk after just 1 season. But her short stint on the program proved valuable because it gave Remini new insight into the business. She summed it up by saying, "Sometimes heart and passion don't actually get you far, and good intentions are not always rewarded." Remini became a member of the Church of Scientology at the age of 8 because her mother joined the organization. She spent her childhood and much of her adult life as a devout Scientologist, but in 2006, at the wedding of Tom Cruise and Katie Holmes, she began to have reservations. That's when Remini asked about the whereabouts of Shelley Miscavige, the wife of the church's leader, David Miscavige. Shelley was notably absent from the event and hasn't been seen in public for nearly 2 decades. It seems like a logical question, but the church didn't agree.
This is enough. Where is Shelley?
The church reprimanded and blacklisted Remini and put her through years of a Scientology practice called thought modification.
They were just trying to get me to recant what I said, to apologize for ruining the wedding of the century.
By 2013, Remini had had enough and decided to leave the church, something Scientology more than frowns upon. In a statement she shared with Us Weekly, she wrote, "I wish to share my sincere and heartfelt appreciation for the overwhelming positive response I have received from the media, my colleagues, and from fans around the world." Remini didn't leave quietly either. She wrote a tell-all book, Troublemaker, Surviving Hollywood and Scientology, in which she detailed her harrowing experiences in the church, including stories of physical abuse, squalid living conditions, and childhood neglect.
I'm talking about abuses, and I'm talking about people's lives being destroyed.
Remini admitted she was afraid of the church's inevitable retribution, but shared, "When I was unable to sleep, I would say to myself, remember Nicole Kidman? She left the church and she's doing okay. Her career is still going and she has a husband and family." After the trauma of leaving Scientology, Remini took on a more lighthearted project, joining the season 17 cast of Dancing with the Stars. That's not to say she wasn't anxious about it. She absolutely was, but she told Digital Spy, "I do things that I'm comfortable with, but if you're never stretching yourself, you're never really growing."
The church is looking for me to fail so they can say to their parishioners, "You see what happens when you leave the church?"
Unfortunately, she and her pro partner, Tony Devolani, were eliminated just before the finals, coming in 5th place overall. It ended up being such a positive experience that Remini returned as a guest judge in 2019. In 2014, Leah Remini invited the world into her home with her TLC reality series, Leah Remini, It's All Relative. The show took an honest look at the actor's everyday life and included her husband Angelo, their daughter Sophia, and Remini's mom, Vicky Marshall. Remini explained to Pop Culture Principal, "When bad things happen to us, there is a mixture of comedy mixed in with the real deal. So that is what we try to portray, and what you see is exactly who we are." While Remini thought her inner circle was entertaining, she wasn't sure how they would behave with cameras rolling.
I'm not gonna have sex with you right now. There's cameras here, and I gotta go!
Angelo's behavior aside, Remini didn't have anything to worry about. She shared, "I have read my audition scenes with my mom before and she was a horrible reader, and I thought she might not be funny, but she has become the breakout star of the entire show."
Stopping your 65-year-old mother from getting a tramp stamp is micromanaging.
In 2017, Remini reunited with her longtime TV husband, Kevin James, when she joined the cast of his show, Kevin Can Wait. She first appeared at the end of the show's first season, playing Vanessa Salucci, the former police partner of James's character, Kevin Gable. James was thrilled to have her back on board, telling CBS News, "We're friends and we're family. Literally, we feel like we've known each other forever." Some fans of the show were disappointed when Erin Hayes, who played James's wife on the show, left the series between the first and second seasons, seemingly to give more screen time to the relationship between James and Remini. A disgruntled X-user posted, "Still disgusted with Kevin Can Wait. Season 1 was so good, I hope Season 2 bombs and gets cancelled." Undeterred, Remini responded with her signature sarcasm, asking, "How do you really feel? I feel like you are sugarcoating it." But that ex-user got their wish. The series was canceled after season 2. In November 2016, Remini produced an A&E series, Leah Remini's Scientology in the Aftermath, in which she gave voice to many former church members. Remini told Entertainment Weekly, "The show is really about standing up for what is right and not letting bullies have their way. I feel it is important for people to know that you can take action to bring about change, both for yourself and for others."
I'm going to tell these stories in hopes that people wake up and go, okay, somebody needs to do something about this.
The show ran for 3 seasons and earned a 2020 Emmy Award for Outstanding Hosted Nonfiction Series. The series finale focused on actor and Scientologist Danny Masterson and the sexual assault allegations against him. Remini wanted to highlight how the church silences women in dangerous domestic situations. She explained, "This is what Scientology teaches, this vitriol to attack viciously those women who've courageously come forward and are saying we've been victimized and want their day in court." Masterson has since been convicted of raping 2 women and was sentenced to 30 years to life in prison for his crimes. Remini attended the sentencing to support the victims. In 2021, Remini returned to TV as host of the Game Show Network's new show People Puzzler. Contestants solve crossword puzzles filled with pop culture trivia, and the winner takes home $10,000. And Remini said she genuinely enjoyed working with non-celebrities, telling People magazine, "People who know me know that I would prefer to go to your family's barbecue than any Hollywood event." Remini didn't hesitate to be a part of the game show because she felt there was a need for more levity in her own life, as well as the culture at large. She explained, "I was dealing with the aftermath of producing and hosting my A&E documentary series on Scientology, on top of it being a very dark time in our country. So when something like this comes along, I feel like it's a blessing." Remini left the Church of Scientology in 2013 and went on to expose many of the inner workings of the organization with her book and her docuseries. But she still wasn't done with her takedown of the church and its insidious practices. But the church didn't make it easy. After Remini left, the organization made very public, defamatory claims about her, including false accusations of racism as well as abuse involving her family members. And that was just part of what Remini alleged in the lawsuit she filed against the church in 2021. Included in the suit was David Miscavige, the leader of the organization, who Remini said targeted her after she distanced herself from the religion.
How much money do you estimate that you gave the Church of Scientology through your life?
Millions.
Millions?
Mm-hmm.
Remini issued a press release outlining her claims, which read in part, "For 17 years, Scientology and David Miscavige have subjected me to what I believe to be psychological torture, defamation, surveillance, harassment, and intimidation, significantly impacting my life and career."
I never want to give the business, the organization of Scientology, the idea that anybody's scared.
Remini sought compensation for the damage done to her reputation and career as a result of the church's harassment, but she also wanted to protect others from a similar fate, writing, "I believe I am not the first person targeted by Scientology and its operations, but I intend to be the last." In 2024, Remini earned her associate's degree from New York University. She proudly shared a photo of her diploma in an Instagram post, along with a caption reading, "3 years ago, I embarked on a terrifying journey. Becoming a college student at the age of 50 after only having an 8th grade education and spending 35 years in a totalitarian cult." Before enrolling in NYU's School of Professional Studies, Remini admitted she was intimidated, posting, "I desperately wanted a higher education for many years, but didn't move forward because I feared I was not smart enough." She went on to explain that those feelings were yet another negative consequence of her time in Scientology, writing, 3 decades of brainwashing still gripped my mind." Remini also expressed gratitude for her support system of family and friends, and announced that she was continuing her education with the goal of earning her bachelor's degree. Also in 2024, Remini and her husband of 21 years, Angelo Pagan, filed for divorce. They shared the news with fans in a joint Instagram post that featured a throwback pic of the couple alongside a more recent photo. The bittersweet caption read, "This decision came after a lot of thought and care, and as hard as divorce is, we are approaching this with a positive outlook because we know it's what's best for us." Remini and Pagan explained that they'd grown and changed over the many years they'd been together and had simply grown apart. They reassured friends and fans that they were still very close and planned to remain part of one another's lives, writing, "We are still celebrating holidays together, watching our favorite TV shows together, and gathering as a family." Remini and Jennifer Lopez became fast friends after meeting at an event back in 2004. At the time, Remini was still part of the Church of Scientology, and Lopez was dating singer Mark Anthony. Still, throughout all the changes in their lives, the two women remained close.
It was one of those instant chemistry things, right? She's from Brooklyn, I'm from the Bronx.
But when Remini was noticeably absent from Lopez and Affleck's wedding in 2022, it sparked rumors that she and Lopez were on the outs. Even though it was reported that Remini missed the ceremony because she was moving her daughter Sophia into college, rumblings of a feud between the former fast friends persisted. According to Remini, the rumors were untrue. In June 2025, she told Us Weekly, "Sometimes you don't talk to people every day like you used to, but that doesn't mean the love is lost." Remini also shared that she reached out to Lopez after her split from Pagan, revealing, "Right after the divorce, we'd text each other loving messages of support." So, despite rumors to the contrary, it seems that the two women still have love for each other, even if their lives have pulled them in different directions. Remini explained, "I cherish my friendships, and not everybody is meant to be in your life in the way that they were. When you grow out of that person that you were, that doesn't mean that you are at odds with them."